Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hi, I'm Rose Davidson from Talking with the Experts. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Global Glamping Charities for their valued support. Global Glamping Charities, solving homelessness in all its forms. Reach out to them at globalglamping.org.
Talking with the Experts.
In episode 465, Ilaria Sambi talks to us about how to do email funnels the right way.
You need to have your systems in place with, you can have the different platforms that you can build your really simple checkout page, and you can insert it in your emails. But what works, you kind of need to do a bit of market research about your audience, because I cannot tell you now what works for one audience, because it can be completely different, from mine. But usually people like to, urgency always works. So if you, as we were saying before, you're giving a discount, you could make it last just for 3 to 5 days. So they cannot use it anytime they need to buy now. This is not because I like to push people, but it's proven. It's like a sales strategy that, and we find this in everyday occasions. So, when H&M or Zara does a discount that says you got time until midnight tonight, if you were already thinking about buying clothes from H&M, you will jump on it. So that's simply
Talking with the Experts.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today my guest is Ilaria Sambi, and Ilaria will be discussing with us email funnels. And if they're done right, they can help the selling of your product or your service literally in your sleep, because your cold leads can become hot leads thanks to an automated email sequence. My goodness. So Ilaria is an online business manager specialising in obviously on online social media, and is helping online entrepreneurs work less hours thanks to building automated funnels and efficient systems and processes. Welcome, Ilaria. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm very excited to be here and to talk about funnels.
Lovely. Yeah, funnels is something that last year everyone said that email marketing was dead. So I'm glad that there's somebody on here that can actually say, no, that's not the case.
It's absolutely not dead. And as all of us will, everybody owns an email address, and you will see, the amount of emails that you keep receiving every day is definitely not dead. It's actually one of the best marketing strategy that you can have. I always recommend all my clients, whatever stage of business they are, even if they just started, to get onto email marketing straight away and to grow their list. Because now we are all used to, we do everything on social media. We are told that we need to build our presence, which is absolutely right. We need to, post reels, dance, and do all these things. But back in the days, if we think about 10, 15 years ago, when social media didn't exist, people were able to do very good business just with the power of an email list, just by collecting email addresses. So why couldn't we do the same now? It's absolutely possible to do the same, to really build a sustainable business just with the power of email marketing. If you don't want to, you don't have to be on social media.
Yeah, great. That's a great point, that we don't have to use social media if we don't choose to, and that we can build an audience through other means.
Absolutely, and we really need to think about what means is fits best our brand, our personality. So if we manage to build an engaged community via email, there's no reason why we can't focus more on the emails that we send to our very close community, rather than, putting out loads of content on social media, hoping that our ideal client will see them. That's a much harder way to do marketing, in my opinion, and I've seen results with my clients, so I know that definitely this is something that works. And but a lot of people see it as something that is an add-on, something that adds more complication to the business, something that they need to start. They don't know where to start, they don't know how to do it right. So that's why a lot of people leave it on the back end. It's always on their list, but like it goes down and down in priority, because there's always so social media, Instagram, and other things. But I always I will repeat it until until I retire, that starting an email list and really getting onto email marketing as soon as you can is the best business decision that you can do, because you hear so many people, business owners, who have been going on for years, and they will all tell you, I wish I started my email list sooner. That's what they will say. That's how powerful it is. And sometimes you realize it just along the line, when the business is more established, how much money and how many new connections your email list can bring in.
Yeah, but for businesses that are just starting out and don't have an email list, and they want to build one, how would they go about doing that?
So the best way to start, when you really have no audience and nothing, from day one, it's creating something that is a free resource, something that is very useful for your ideal client. So it's kind of a bribe, I call it, but ethical, because you're not stealing anything, but your objective is to get somebody's email address. But people are really jealous about their email address nowadays. They are not going to give it to anyone just because they want to hear from you. Especially if you're new, you need to give them a reason why. So market research is always the first thing that I suggest, making really clear in your head who your ideal client is and what their main problem is that you can resolve with your service. And then create a resource. This resource can be a PDF, a guide. There's so many things that you can choose from. A video, it can be evergreen, or it can be a live event. Something that is free, that gets people to know you and you can show off your expertise. You can really give a lot of value for just their email address back. So you gain their email address, and they start knowing how good it would be to work with you. And that works very well. The mistake that I see a lot of people doing is to just put out something quickly, quick and dirty, something that they think their client might need or might want, but then they end up just sharing it once, and then nobody downloads it, so then they will never talk about it again. And this is not really a good strategy. So I love really helping people understanding that it doesn't have to be complicated, but it needs to be really strategic, their freebie or whatever they launch, because it can be really like the strategy that brings leads consistently and continuously in your business. So it needs to be done right from the beginning. Otherwise, you'll end up just having it done and wasting loads of time for nothing. So definitely that. Releasing a free resource. And then the most important part is as well, not just ending it there. So you don't want to just give the resource, get the email address back, and that's it. The sales sequence that comes after is the one that will sell, because you're not going to sell after. Well, maybe you can, but some people are just very reactive. They just impulsive buyers, and they might read your freebie, they love you, and they contact you and they buy something. But most of the other people will need nurturing. And if you want to really make the most of your email marketing, what you could do and what you should do is to create a sales funnel, an email sales funnel that really get them to know you. You can introduce yourself with a few emails, then start slowly introducing your offers, and then sell at the end of this email sequence, which means that you create this sequence once and you don't have to, repeat the same things over and over again on social media. It's something that goes on in the background. You don't even notice it. When somebody joins, behind the scenes, they are nurtured by your emails. And the end goal is that they will sign up for your offer. So at that point, you can give them a little discount for your offer because they joined your email list. And there's so many things that you can do. But this is something that you create once, and it can really potentially be the resource that makes you save a lot of time, that brings people in without you being active all the time. It's kind of a passive thing. You create it once, and then you get people in, and you transform clients from cold leads to hot leads.
Yeah, that's a really good explanation. Thank you, Ilaria, for sharing that.
You're welcome.
It's an easy process, but it's I guess it's knowing what to share with your audience, what to get them into your funnel. What type of information should you be sharing with them, during that email sequence?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's always about, so it's very similar to, the strategy that we've been taught about, like, when you want. So what you want to do in your email sequence is you want to bring people on a journey. You want to get them to know you a little bit more. If you are a service-based business, your brand is yourself. So you want to share a little bit more about yourself. So you hopefully connect with these people a little bit more. They might resonate with your experience, with your journey. And then going on with the emails, I would recommend sending an email every 2 or 3 days, so you don't, overwhelm the person with information. Then you can start giving value as well. Always the rule is to give value and then attempt to, mention your offer. Never do the opposite. So a lot of value, show off your expertise, talk about your results with your previous clients, show them testimonials, show them evidence that you are a very good, business owner and you are the expert in your field. And then after this, you can start slowly introducing your offer, talking about how you help previous clients with the same problem that this person that is in your sequence is going through. And then at the very end, I would say after 5, 6 emails, you can announce your offer. It's completely up to you, but what I always recommend is to give a little discount for people who joined your list. So they feel special, actually. So they feel like they are in a position of privilege because you are saying thank you. You want to help them, but you also want to give them a discount, and you really want them to join your offer, and that works all the time. So if your emails are strategic, if the freebie is strategic, and especially something that I notice a lot, if your emails really show your personality, that works a treat. So for example, I have an email sequence at the moment with my lead magnet, and I got quite a witty sense of humor, very silly. I like memes. I like, stupid humor like that. And I injected a lot of it in my sequence. So people reply to me and say, they comment about, not about the business stuff that I write about, but about the meme, about the things that is outside business. And that creates such a good connection aside from the business. That is the key for people to buy from you afterwards.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Include things about yourself and don't be so strict or formal in the emails that you are sending out. Just be yourself, and I think people will like and get to know you a lot better, as you said. Ilaria, when I guess once you've got them into this funnel and, so you've got the email list and then they're sort of funneling down, how do you finally get them to buy something?
So it's, you need to have your systems in place with, you can have the different platforms that you can build your really simple checkout page, and you can insert it in your emails. But what works, you kind of need to do a bit of market research about your audience, because I cannot tell you now like what works for one audience, because it can be completely different, from mine. But usually people like to, so, urgency always works. So if you, as we were saying before, you're giving a discount, you could make it last just for 3 to 5 days. So they cannot use it anytime they need to buy now. This is not because I like to push people, but it's proven. It's like a sales strategy that, and we find this in like everyday occasion. So, when H&M or like Zara does a discount that says like you got time until midnight tonight, if you were already thinking about buying clothes from H&M, you would jump on it. So that's simply what it is. If I didn't have the deadline, I would wait for another week. That's simply what it is. So urgency, testimonials, so showing the proofs that you helped, not just yourself, not just that you've done it for yourself, but you helped other people achieving great results. And don't be afraid to, if you're at the start, you don't have a lot of testimonials, you can create like case studies for clients, people that you helped with in the past, even if it was for free, even if it wasn't a client. So just don't be afraid to share just anything that can help, any proof that can help that you are very good at what you're doing. That always works. Yeah, so that one, urgency, and calling them out. I always like, there's always like a fine line between like making people feel bad and calling them out. Calling them out is when you show that you've done your market research so well that you know exactly what they think, and you know that they are on the fence. They think, they're reading the emails, they're opening them, they're clicking, but they don't buy. So how can you activate them? So how can you find those just a couple of sentences that call them out and say, I know that you want this, I know that you're clicking, why don't you message me to talk about it? Or what is stopping you? So a lot of time people are, if you call them out like that, you open a safe space for them to share. Maybe it's a money question, maybe it's not the right time, maybe they are scared. So you want them to know that you are a person as well. So you're happy to discuss options for them. You might, do like one-off like further discount if this person is really struggling, but they really want to invest. Or maybe you can suggest to them, we talk in 6 months. So it's always about like having this automated sequence, yes, but also show that you are a person. They can talk to you and they can discuss their fears, their problems. You want to know that this is the offers that is right for them, and you want them to know that they can talk to you about that.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's really great tips. I've not thought about adding the sentence in the end of it, but yeah, that's quite good. And I must use that strategy. I think it sounds really intriguing. Ilaria,
yes,
where can people find you
Sorry.
Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
So I'm very active on Instagram. My handle is Ilaria Sambi. And then I have a website that has got all my offers. Actually, I'm continuously updating it because I've come up with a new idea. So it's not completely updated today, but today I'm launching, this week I'm launching a few new offers. So it's www.ilariasambi.com. And this is where they can find me. Thank you so much for having me today.
Ilaria, if you were to offer some words of wisdom, whether they be professional or otherwise, what would they be?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
If you were to offer some advice to somebody, whether it be on a professional level or otherwise, what advice would you give them?
I would advise them to make it less complicated. So I like it when business is simple and they don't need to do everything, but they need to do very specific strategic things, but done well for their business to thrive.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yes, simple is better.
Yeah.
Ilaria, thank you so much for being my guest today, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Same. Thank you so much for having me.
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.